A few days ago, the very first 4X game published by Paradox Interactive made its appearance, namely Millennia over here. Now, this game has been received with some pretty mixed reviews. People are definitely on the fritz. Some enjoy it, some don't enjoy it. Some think it's flat out a copy of Civilization, and I think that it's time we address all of these questions in this video. I'm going to be going through most of the comments that we have on my previous Millennia video. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. This video is not sponsored by Paradox Interactive, and I want to give you guys the truth about this game because I think you all deserve that. It might surprise somebody what I'm going to be saying in this video, so do stick around because I think you're going to find this very interesting. Obviously, we're also going to be playing the game at the same time that we're talking about it, so let's queue up our Imperio Romanorum with the regional production bonus. You can essentially build whatever nation you want. You can choose the city designs, the town designs, and whatever discount these nations start with. Give them whatever name you want, as well as the flag from the predetermined flags over here. That's why I have my Imperio Romanorum, which is in essence a clone of Rome. We have Rome and the Roman Republic as separate entities in the game already. I'm gonna set my enemies that would be kind of historically plausible, I guess, right, for the time period, like the Persians on all of these guys. I do think that the best way to talk about the game is to illustrate everything, including the good and the bad. We're gonna be talking about all the things that I don't like, that I feel most of the community doesn't like about the game. We're also going to talk about the good things of the game, as well as what I personally think and what my commenters think would be good feedback to make it a much better game, of course. First off, let's go ahead and change this city to the city of Roma, the actual Roman capital, am I right? And I'm going to start this off by saying that I like the game. I genuinely like the game. I'm not sponsored by anybody to say that, and I'm being extremely honest when I say that this is a very fun game. I've actually been playing Millennia in my own time, even when I'm not recording for a video, and the reason for that is because I do enjoy 4X games. This is a 4X game, and it does have a lot of issues. I'm going to address all of those issues in this video, but at the same time, it is a fun game. I cannot deny the fact that it has very high replayability. It has one of the most insane amounts of flavor that a 4X game has had on launch. You also have to remember this is one of the first attempts of a 4X game published by Paradox, and the company that developed the game doesn't have as much experience as the bigger ones, like the ones that makes Civilization and so on. But even though that may be the case, they've done an amazing job. I mean, starting with the ages themselves. Sure, we have the Age of Bronze, Age of Iron, and so on, but afterwards, after the third, fourth age, it starts diverting, and we have so many different options for the ages that the ages alone are probably like 6 times more, 7 times more ages than any Civilization game, and that offers different replayability because you're never going to be able to play the same age multiple times in the same game, so you have to restart a new game. And every age comes with its own technologies, with its own crises, with its own different setting. Even the map looks different for certain ages once you've reached those ages. Now let's go ahead and get our workers done here. We need to get some clay done in our country, and let's make sure we queue up a town center. Now don't get me wrong, the game does have a lot of things that are not amazing, such as the fact that the combat animation is absolutely atrocious. In fact, I personally think that the combat scene should be completely removed altogether. Like, it's pointless to have that combat scene in the first place. I understand that it's very common for people to think that just because the game is similar to another already established game that it's a copy of that game, but that's really not the case. First off, even this screen here, the tribal screen as we have, which is the government screen, right? The way that the government is set up in this game is completely different from any Civilization game I've personally seen, okay? You have different domains, the government, the warfare, etc., the ones that will pop up afterwards, and each of them get reformed, restructured, and advance as you advance in ages. That is freaking insane, man. This is the only 4X game out of all the 4X games that I've seen that has this kind of thing. That just goes to show it's really unfair, honestly, to say that, oh, simply because it's the same type of game, it's a carbon copy. And I'm gonna call out some of you bastards in the comment section because I feel like a lot of you have been very mean without even playing the game or just being a massive shill, as you guys called me about being a shill for Millennia. You're a shill for Civilization. I'm sorry. I used to love Civilization games when I was growing up as a kid, right? But the reality is that those games, especially Civilization 6 and 5, the graphics amazing, right? Millennia graphics, not that great, let's face it, they're pretty bad. Definitely need to improve on the graphics side. But do I play 4X games for the graphics? No! I play 4X games to entertain my freaking brain, to keep me busy, to basically play chess without actually playing chess. This is chess after all. I don't care about the graphics as much as I care about the actual content of the game itself. And in my opinion, Civilization 5 and 6 especially, the content's dog shit. I said it there. I know you're gonna be angry with me, especially if you play Civilization. I actually enjoy Civilization 3 and 4 way more than 6. Why is that? The graphics are worse, yes, but even up to today, Civilization 3 and 4 are better than 6. Because they offered at their own time when they were released something that was new, something that was innovative, something that kept me entertained. 5 and 6, carbon copies, better graphics, nothing else added. Oh, and guess what? You're gonna get one civilization with one special unit and maybe one special bonus. You're gonna pay 10 euros for that or whatever the DLC costs nowadays. Don't get me wrong, Millenia is probably gonna follow down that path too with a lot of little DLCs that will cost a lot. I hope it doesn't, but I'm also a realist and I assume that it will do that, right? But I also know that it will not offer one civilization with one unique unit and one special bonus. You know how I know that? This is how I know that. You can literally build any civilization you want with any type of special bonus, with any type of special towns and so on, right? If they release a DLC that offers one civilization with one bonus and one type of unit, no one's gonna fucking buy it because you can just build as many civilizations as you want. So whatever DLCs we're gonna see for this game are gonna be more than that. Not only that, but the game as it stands right now has a lot of unique mechanics not seen in any 4X game that are innovative, just like they were back in Civ 3 and Civ 4 whenever those were released. And I'm gonna say something even more controversial. The civilization genre needs a competitor. As it stands, they have a monopoly on 4X games and they're not innovating because they're not being pushed to innovate. Just like Paradox is not being pushed to innovate in the grand strategy scene, because right now they own the grand strategy scene as it stands. And yes, this screen right here is useless, pointless. Why do we have this? It's fun watching it once, but then considering that you cannot do anything with the units, you cannot choose which unit attacks who, it's pointless. Get rid of the screen. I know probably no one from Paradox is watching this, or no one from the company that's making the game is watching this, but if anybody does, get rid of this. Make it at least so that you see it once and then you never see it again. That would be the best option, because that thing's just annoying more than anything else at this point in the campaign. Or at the very least, after you play it for a few hours, the game, you don't want to see that screen anymore. It's pointless, the graphics are really bad, and it's a 4X game. Nobody cares about that bit anyway. I'm gonna talk about a few more gripes I have with the game next, because I want to give the hate gang their point too, right? The UI. The UI is atrocious. It took me literally 20 hours of playing the game to fully understand what's going on and fully understand the UI. So you need to change that right now, in my opinion, because the values that explain what exactly you're gaining in this game are impossible to realize unless you really pay close attention, and you get a literal binocular to actually see what your freaking income is and shit. Like, what is this, man? Do I literally need to use this in order to see that I'm getting 3 wealth, 2 knowledge, 2 culture, and whatever else I'm getting here? Oh, and unrest is here. That's not intuitive. The fact that unrest is shown over here is not intuitive at all. Then you need to hover over another one to see what's being built and so on and so on. And then your needs are shown as well and everything. And it's not really explained very well either. I mean, sure, there's got to be a tutorial and everything for it, right? But even so, man, nobody plays the tutorials, and people need to have an easier time understanding what this game is about and how exactly it's being played, right? Granted, this might just be a gripe that only I have and nobody else has, but it is a gripe. And also, way too many barbarians. Way too many barbarians. I mean, holy shit, there's a lot of barbarians, man. Don't get me wrong, it's good to have a challenge, but it's just annoying sometimes. I'm just tired of losing my units. Look at that. Ah, I almost lost these guys as well. Okay, I'm not gonna lose them. Fine, we're gonna retreat back. See, now we gotta retreat back to heal up our unit in the early phase because the barbarians attack. Why are the barbarians so aggressive? Why are they so aggressive, man? Now, we've complained for quite a little bit of time, so now it's time to go back to say the good stuff again, because I do think this game has a lot of potential, and I would like to see this game keep on getting developed. I would like to see this game game become a proper competitor for Civilization, just as much as I'd like to see some other games become proper competitors for grand strategies that Paradox have put out. Because end of the day, what is my goal as a content creator? My goal is to have a huge amount of games that I love playing, that you guys love playing, that I will show you what's fun to play about those games. And I would love to see more games come out, the established games improve themselves so that the community grows and it attracts more players, and which means I get more viewers as well if there's more players. And then eventually I make $1 trillion out of putting 1 million ads in each video, and I use my $1 trillion to establish a space company. Then I start going into Mars first, put a base on Mars, then I start mining the asteroids on Mars. I get filthy rich. I become actually the first trillionaire out of mining asteroids. Then with the money that I get from that, I will reestablish the Roman Empire IRL. That's it. You hear me right? That's exactly my game plan right here, okay? It all starts with a variety of good games, and then it ends with the reestablishment of the Roman Empire. That's just how things work in life, okay? That's exactly how things work. You could question my logic, but you'd be wrong. You'd be very, very wrong, really. You'd be extremely wrong, in fact. I'm gonna raise an army just to show you how wrong you are, okay? And I'm gonna build a pasture so we get more pops so we can grow the city of Rome a little bit quicker as consequence. Just to show you how wrong you are, okay? This is my point exactly. We're starting to get unrest. We have 6 unrest as it stands over here. And if you don't pay attention to this, you're gonna end up with your country getting destroyed by unrest, and you need to have something stationed here. Obviously, if you play the game a couple of times, you'll know that, right? But for somebody that's completely new to the game, it's not gonna be that easy to actually realize that this is the issue. And I've seen a lot of people complaining about this also, that especially in my comments, that the UI is not really the most intuitive thing. And speaking of complaints, let's actually go to my old Millenia video, the one that was sponsored, and people thought, oh, Ludi's such a shill, he only saying Millenia good because he got sponsored. No, I said Millenia good because I'm actually freaking enjoying the game, okay? Just to reply to some of you scumbags in the comment. Let's start with the most comment here. Paradox executives be like, but have you seen how many DLCs you can sell with the 4X game though? 324 likes, 100% funny, and pretty sure that's one of the reasons they did make a 4X game in the first place, because they did see how many DLCs you can release for 4X. It's a lot, especially if you sell them by nation, which I hope is not going to be the case with Millenia, because that's going to be a freaking failure if they do that. And I hope we actually get some proper new mechanics and new flavor with each DLC for this game. Why are old developers now making games with a visual style like it's a mobile game? Yeah, let's go back to Millenia for a sec. Does this game look a little bit like a mobile game? Maybe a little bit. Can you play it on a mobile? Probably not. Is it ever going to be on a mobile? Probably not. Again, do I play 4X games for the graphics? No, I don't. Do people that play 4X games for the graphics have smaller brains? They're not smaller, but they are definitely smoother. It looks like a mobile game with great potential. Can't wait to see all the amazing DLCs on the way. I see what you did there, sir. I see what you did there, Mr. Kebab. And I'm also looking forward to their amazing DLCs. Before we do continue, I just realized something, and I need to point this out too. The game is 5,000 yen for me, or the premium edition is 8,000 yen. That's like roughly 60 bucks for the premium and 40 bucks for the regular standard edition. As it stands right now, I probably will play at least 200-300 hours with Millenia before I get bored with the current content. At least, right? For me, 40 bucks, because I'm a little bit of a cheapo, is a little bit on the higher end for a video game that I play. I would say a good price for this would be $30, but then again, I'm not a gaming company. I don't know how the prices are set. I don't agree with the 60 bucks for the premium edition, but I hope that by getting the premium edition, you get a lot of good stuff, right? Right now, what I can see is that we're gonna get Q4 of 2024 Ancient Worlds, and then Atomic Ambitions in Q1 of 2025. That's very close to each other, actually. I do think the game is a little bit steep when it comes to the price, though. I feel like maybe 10 bucks less would be an accurate amount for this kind of game, but that's just my opinion. I also want to compare this with another game that you guys really enjoy, Civilization 6, which costs at base price, it is how much? Let's see. Base price is 7,000 yen, so that's like 50 bucks. For the fact that it's an established title and so on, I would say it would be a good 50 bucks, 45 bucks. But then again, I've got this game so long ago. How long? There you go. I got it like when? 2020, 2016, and I played 12 hours. Why did I play only 12 hours of this game? Because it's boring, bro. It's fucking boring as shit. I played Humankind for 300 hours. Humankind's more fun than Civilization 6, dude. Come on, dude. Actually, come on. So is this Project Caesar? Wow, that came out fast. Yes, this is clearly Project Caesar. This is also a reminder that probably 20% of the EU4 community actually thinks that the 1st of April 1336 is a joke as a start date for EU5. It's not a joke. It really is not. Imagine thinking that Paradox would make a game for 4 years, put the start date as a joke, release it before the 1st of April, code in all the political map, code in all the events as a joke. You're really smooth brain if you think that also. I mean, really smooth brain. And I know some of you were joking about that. I know. But some of you really think that. Like, holy shit, man. Battle animations straight out of 2000's Flash game got me rolling. This game looks like ass. Battle animations out of 2000 definitely should be removed completely. I don't think the battle animations should be in there at all. Just like a flat amount of damage dealt or received is more than enough in my opinion. I don't think the game looks like ass though. The graphics are not too bad overall compared to other similar games. If you put his head in the perfect spot, it would be Age of Ludi. Okay, let's try that. You mean like this? Is this the right way to do it? Am I doing it right? Guys, is this what he meant? Can someone explain? Or maybe something like this. Instead of Age of Iron, we got Age of Ludi. Also want to point out this feature here, right? So we just selected as our national spirit, then mound builders, and all of the things here are offer different bonuses. How many national spirits there are? There's a ton of them, my dude. National spirits alone, which can be chosen every 2 ages, right? Age 2, 4, 6, and 8, if I'm not mistaken. The national spirits alone offer so much flavor and variety to the game. It's mind-blowing that that's actually in a 4X game, not in a grand strategy game, right? Also want to point out this little mechanic here, the chaos mechanic. So we got the chaos and the innovation mechanic. So basically, whenever you get 100 innovation, you get a good event, possibility for a good event to trigger. Whenever you get a chaos 100, you get a possibility for a bad event to trigger. That's kind of similar to how the events work in EU4, albeit in EU4 it's not the same obviously, but it's not that different from this too. And that's a feature that makes the game so much more enjoyable because you never know what to expect. Are you going to get destroyed by some horrible disaster, or are you just going to get a unique unit? You know what I mean? Aside from the innovation chaos mechanic and from using wealth for various stuff, right? We have the culture powers, which you get more and more cultures as you advance in technology. The domains also, you get more and more domains as you advance in your ages and you unlock more. And the options from each of these are just really great. Like, look at that. We just speed up our research and we got it instantly done, which means we can research something else up next now. And for example, this research, the officials, is going to give us the envoy, which allows us to vassalize city-states, which is one of the most fun ways of actually expanding your terrain, and which I personally found to be one of the more innovative ways of expanding in any 4X game so far. Look at that. We got one of the events from 100 innovation, and we got the multi-terrace mounds, which means that we could potentially get +1 improvement points per burial mound, or just get flat 300 wealth. I'm gonna go for the improvement for the burial mound. That is a permanent bonus, and it makes burial mounds so much better because as it stands right now, once we unlock them, we can get sanitation from them as well, alongside the 2 culture and currently 1 extra improvement point. So burial mounds are going to be really powerful now. I also like to see constructive criticism, so that's why I like MS Pisol's comment. I like from these 4X types of strategies so that whenever your research progresses, your civilization changes to Roman, Egyptian, etc., kind of like building a wonder, but with many researches requiring to progress. Would be cool if surrounding areas also are affected by this. That's really good feedback. As you probably realize right now, the way it stands in Millenia, you can choose your starting civilization and then you customize the civilization as you progress. So it's not far off from this. I guess what he's trying to say is like once you've switched to a civilization like Roman, Egyptian, and so on, you see that particular civilization evolve and not switch to different civilizations every different upgrade like you do, for example, in Humankind, right? Stop rewarding trash. They might just stop making it. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a habit at this point, rewarding trash, bro. I'm sorry, Matthew. I don't see enough to differentiate it from civilization. It's extremely different from civilization. Holy shit. You have not played the game, Drauko, if you said that. You literally did not play the game. There you go. He says, except it's completely different mechanics. Exactly. Worse graphics? Yes, worse graphics. I agree. But also completely completely different mechanics from Civilization. I really like the mechanics and the ideas for the different paths for ages, but I really hate those graphics. Same, actually same. Must confess, I'm gonna play and enjoy it. I hope you do enjoy it, Saga. Just get a Civilization 5 or 6 when it's on sale, boys. No, I have it. I'm not playing it as much as I'm playing Millennia, my dude. People paying too much attention to graphics and not enough to mechanics. The different level of integration for different cities plus outposts, the divergence of ages, not to mention the army buildings. There's a lot of tweaks to the Civ formula that looks really promising and a lot of potential to introduce several new factors to consider every playthrough. True. Exactly what... This is pretty much why I really enjoy Millennia, because it's an innovative new approach to a 4X game. Maybe this is gonna make Civilization wake up and smell the fact that they need to actually make a new game and not just make better graphics for a game they've had for 20 years. I love this one. Johan, can you buy me the latest Civilization? But we have latest Civilization at home. This is classic Eddie Murphy from, what was it, Raw or Delirious, with the burger at home that his grandma or mama makes, right, instead of McDonald's. I have one question before pulling the trigger. Is 60 bucks worth it for the game plus the 2 unreleased DLC and OST? Game is worth 20 euros. 40 euros is already overpriced. Is the game... Yeah, no, I agree with that. I do think 20 euros / 30 bucks is the accurate amount for this game. I do believe that too. And here's why also, because I don't want to encourage a brand new release to be too expensive, and then if it's too successful, it's gonna end up being what, fucking 100 bucks in a couple of years? Come on, guys. We need to stop rewarding companies asking for 60 bucks for a game on release. That's ridiculous in my opinion. It's a video game. You're not literally sawing freaking trees to make an item that you're shipping overseas. You're literally making a virtual item. It shouldn't be that expensive. Good call out for you, Ludi, but this game is gonna fall through the cracks faster than Humankind. I hope not, man. And you know what? Humankind also is pretty good in my opinion. It definitely did receive a lot of hate, and it does have a lot of negative shit as well, Humankind, but it's not a bad game. I actually enjoy Humankind too. Love the content, bought the game whilst watching the video. Awesome, dude. Hope you enjoyed the game, brother. Bro is playing Humankind too. No, it's not bro. It's the literal... So Humankind is based off of going towards different civilizations with each age. That is not what this game is about. Holy shit, man. This game, once you have your civilization, you modify that civilization as you progress, and you have so many different things you can do as this civilization, so many different domains, cultures, research, ages that impact your nation and impact the way you play compared to any other 4X game. This is better than Humankind in my opinion. A lot better. Now, I do feel like I ranted enough or more than enough in this video, so from now, we're just going to be playing the game and I'm going to show you guys why I'm loving this so much. So first off, let's check this out. Next stage is going to be researched in 3 turns by the Persians. They've got more research progress towards the next stage compared to me or the Germans right now. And like I was saying earlier, there's multiple options. You can research the Age of Iron, which is the standard age, the Age of Heroes, or the Age of Blood if you do certain prerequisites beforehand. If somebody else researches the Age of Iron before you manage to research Age of Blood or Heroes, then the other 2 ages are locked, so everyone's gonna only be able to research the Age of Iron moving forward, so keep that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and roam now, and we're gonna build up next a grain, or actually we should probably do the encampment. We haven't done this yet, and that should have been done a while back. We're also very close to being able to integrate Byzantium, our second city, and we've got some units coming over here to use our envoy and make this free city our 3rd city as consequence, or vassal better yet. And it looks like this city is the city of York. Our 3rd city, or currently vassal, will be a proper integrated city once we have the ability to do so in 10 turns, which is when we integrate it. Let's also check the rest of our units. We are being chased by a massive barbarian army here, so I'm gonna progressively run away from it. There's not much I can do with the slightly smaller army over there. We might as well explore with the rest of our units. Hey, we got a village. That is awesome. We can get some warfare XP or an archer. I'm gonna go for the warfare, thank you very much. And we can use our pioneer to establish an outpost over here, which essentially enlarges the area that is under our control, preventing anybody else from building their own settlements in this particular land and allowing us to make use of these lands for ourselves if we want to. Go ahead and integrate Byzantium now, and that means we can make a plantation here, and we can also make a pasture in this other area, so we can start growing Byzantium a lot faster, and we can start building buildings in Byzantium now too, beginning with the food stockpile or the town hall. I'm gonna go for the town hall so we get the extra government XP, and as such advance our civilization a little bit faster. And we can also expand our town in Rome. Plus with the culture we can create a new town, say over here, here, which is going to make it so that we can start merging our cities a little bit faster. We can probably rename this. I don't like the city name York. I'm going to name it to Pompeii. Nothing bad ever happened in Pompeii, guys. Come on. Despite the Persians being the first ones to research the next age, it's not the end of the world. It simply means that they have a little bit of an advantage over us now, but we're going to catch up to them very, very fast, rest assured. Now, we have entered our self-stage of iron. The problem is that I don't have enough culture to do a peaceful revolution, which means we might need to do a violent revolution to get the new governments available. Each of these options will lead down a different path. I actually like the peaceful revolution path more, so I'm just gonna wait it out for a few turns and try and get the culture one. We can also use some of our wealth to advance this a little bit quicker once we approach the last 2 turns. And oh my god, I just saw this. Holy mother of god, that is a lot of iron and gold and coal over here. I need to build a city here. This is actually a lot. Holy snaps. And we also got another village over there. Yeah, we need to build a village. We need to build a city there before anybody else does. And we also merged our armies here, so we have 113, meaning we can actually take on these guys that have been chasing us for the past 10 turns. It's pretty vital not to attack them when they are on higher ground, because then we get a pretty significant debuff and we will get our asses handed to ourselves. So we're going to try and circumnavigate and go around and try and reach our city and defend the city, basically. Exactly what I was saying. We can use some of our wealth to rush this, and we can do the peaceful revolution, which means our government is now ready for that. Peace will be the resolving issue to our government, and we can now choose 2 different governments. Remember, we started with the tribal government. Now we can choose between the imperial dynasty, which is basically around having a proper empire, and the other one, the kingdom, revolves around having a multitude of vassals and then making the most out of those vassals. I'm actually going to go for the imperial dynasty. I like this a little bit more, but of course it is all about personal preference more than anything else. We now can also construct a palace in our capital as such, and that palace will offer us some significant bonuses as we go along, and we upgrade the castle itself, the palace itself, that is. And we've met our very first other nation, which apparently is the Chinese that owned Baghdad for some reason. They own it as a little vassal, so it's not yet an integrated part. They're pretty far south from us, but we will have to take these lands with all the minerals before the Chinese do, because all that gold and all that iron is going to be of massive use to us. I would like to spawn in another settler. That's going to cost me 36, and I need to wait a little bit more. I'm only getting 7 government per turn, so I need to improve that a little bit too. China wants us to be best of buddies here and accept open borders. Yeah, sure. They're the only nation I know of anyway. Wouldn't hurt to be good friends with the Chinese. What bad can come out of that? Am I right, guys? I do enjoy the small things that you can do with your units, like you can discover landmarks only if you have an adjacent scout unit next to it. That's such a little cute thingy in my opinion, and it obviously gives us some bonuses too. Now we also established our 3rd or 4th city. I'm not sure which one it is this, because we have a couple of vassals in the north which we have not yet integrated. Probably should integrate Pompeii next turn, I guess. And I'm going to be raising some more units here to defend our lands, but more importantly help lower the unrest, because national unrest can really be a little bit of a pain here, if you know what I mean. Also important to note that roads get automatically established between settlements, even settlements that are not your own settlements, and they improve the speed of units passing through these areas for these tiles. On the one hand, I like the system where you build the road yourself 1 tile at a time, but at the same time having this automated is also pretty good, not gonna lie, and it makes the game a lot less tedious, I guess. Also, we have a viral illness. Basically, if we are stuck and we get up to 20 crisis progress, then we can only do the Age of Plague as our next age, which is horrible. You really do not want to be stuck in the Age of Plague. It is really horrible. Age of Monument we can do if we build 3 civic monuments. We currently have only 1, or we can just go down the regular Age of Kings. I think I'm going to try and get down the Age of Kings myself so I can show you guys the regular ages as you progress in time. We can have another video in the future if you guys want to see more videos like these from Millenia, and I hope you do, because I'm really having a lot of fun with this game. And in that video we can go down the more special ages, I guess. This is actual historical gameplay, guys. These guys have declared hostilities against us, and we just met the Greeks as well, which I'm pretty sure are also not fans of the Persians. Persians do have a lot of lands though, I noticed. I think they have around 5-6 cities if I'm not mistaken by now, so they're going to be my biggest threat as it is. Plus the Chinese are still very south, so we're okay with that. We've captured Sunval, we've made made it into our vassal, and we're going to be establishing another city over in this area too, to make use of all the iron and the coal. Especially coal is going to be a lot more useful as we progress in the campaign. I think I'm going to send south my professional armies. These guys have level 4 veterancy, which means they get a lot more attack and defense bonus as consequence. So they're going to be awesome for defending my cities whenever we're going to get attacked by the Persians, something that I expect will happen any moment now. The Romans are the first to reach the Age of Kings. Well, that is an improvement for sure. That means we now have access to national spirits, new system religion, and castle outpost specialization for our regions, or for our towns really. Now, as I was saying before, you have 4 national spirits, H2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, the H4 ones are pretty insane. First off, you want to, of course, go for the one that you're probably going to get the most domain points for. So for example, if we go explorers, we have a lot of awesome things we can get from them, but exploration domains are not going to be as easy to get as, for example, warfare ones are going to be for me. So going crusaders would be pretty freaking epic if you ask me. Plus, Knights of the Orders and the Crusaders in general are just insanely overpowered. I feel like Crusaders are the most powerful out of all the freaking national spirits by far. That's why I'm going to go for the Crusader national spirit. Once we have 60 warfare, we can unlock the Knights of the Order, some of the strongest units in the game so far. Well, at least in the early part, they are the strongest. Now, for the next age, we have 4 different ages: the Age of Conquest, Age of Intolerance, Discovery, or Renaissance. And you can probably imagine the Age of Intolerance revolves around, how do I put this? Going down a very distinct religious dogma, that's for sure. And speaking of, we can now found our very own religion. And with the Age of Kings, we also have the ability of upgrading buildings, such as getting the large plantation improvement allows us to improve our current plantations and so on. Professional army is going to give us some really great units, by the way, so we probably want to push for that, but not before universities and guilds, obviously. Honestly, thing is, should I found a religion which is likely going to lead down the intolerance path? Because I feel like that might be a fun crises age. I don't know. Not yet super sold on it. Maybe I'll do it as my next cultural power. Because now I also want to found an adjacent town over here to get a road connection between all of my current regions. Our very first Knight of the Order, which has 32 attack, 26 defense, and ×2 combat modifier against the ranged units. Oh my boys, this guy is going to be slapping around all the heretics, that's for sure. We out here doing another Imperial Dynasty reformation, and we can get the Peaceful Reformation once more right now, or Peaceful Revolution. I guess I do have to wait for one more turn before I click that button then. Alright boys, we can start finally upgrading stuff. So there you go. A large plantation is going to double the amount of flax that we get from it. So right now it's offering just 1 flax. It's going to go up to 2 flax as consequence. And just upgrading all of these doubles our economy and our output completely around our nation, which essentially means that having better tech makes you a better nation, and why we should be rushing for tech more than anything else in this game, which means that knowledge is power, quite literally over here. We've done some pretty serious expansion, and I think it's time for me to found my religion in Rome. It's going to be obviously based off of, well, I don't want to base it off of any of these. Looks like we already have Christianity taken, so I'm going to name this Orthodox. Religious buildings are going to be churches, and the icons are going to be the white hand of Saruman, the real symbol for orthodoxy. Everybody knows this. Now we can also continue down our Crusaders path, and we can say do military headquarters, 2 times bonus culture from controlling additional religious birthplaces, 50% heretical religion conversion on capital conquest. A lot of these are really freaking good, actually. I'm gonna go for the bonus to culture first, though. We now also have access to the villas, so we're gonna be destroying the dwellings, boom shakalakas, and we're gonna replace that with villas. Now the best thing is that villas also offer luxury, not only housing, and a lot more wealth compared to the basic dwellings. That's also why I'm gonna be deleting the public quarters too and replacing them also with villas. It's always a good idea to just check for the newest and best building in a specific category and replace your buildings with that particular type of building. Aber unsere Nationicum, ja. Chanel. Now it's really when it's gonna be kicking off, boys. Because Renaissance allows us the expedition system, new governments once more, and social fabric. All absolutely delicious stuff. I'm gonna finish this off here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to mix in a little bit of gameplay with a little bit of synopsis as to why I think this game does deserve a shot. If you're on the fritz about if you should be getting or not Millenia, I highly think you should be getting it. It's a fun game, but if you're short on cash, I do recommend until you wait for a discount. And if you enjoyed this video, then check out this other one up next. And I want to give a massive thank thank you to all of my patrons, channel members, and Twitch subscribers. I would not be able to do this without all your support.